Are you taking the SAT tomorrow or really soon and wondering what should I study the night before the test? In this video, I'm going to talk about my recommendations for what to study the night before the SAT. My name is Brooke. I've scored perfectly on the SAT, but more importantly, I've coached students to perfect scores. And we even this week got an email from a student's parent saying that their son got a perfect 1600 and they are a user of our online digital SAT course. So if you are looking for a top score, make sure you check that out. In any case, my point is I've prepped students to perfect scores. I've made materials that have helped students prep themselves to perfect scores. How do you get an awesome test score? I'm not going to teach you stupid tricks that might not work. I'm going to give you some tried and true study tips. And the other thing that I'll say is I know there's some people out there that like to say, the best way to study for the SAT the night before is to study nothing because you need a good night's sleep and happiness. And while that's a nice thought, I ask you a question. How many of you would go into a final exam, right, a really important exam, and not study the night before? Probably none of you. So, the number one thing that I study the night before the exam is my mistakes. I even sometimes like to create what I call a mistake journal. So if you have taken practice tests in the last several months, if you had taken practice drills, whatever you've done, dig up all the work, scoop it all up, stick it on your desk, or if it's on your computer because it's a digital test, open up your computer and go to My Practice on the College Board site and go through all of your mistakes. And ask yourself these questions and maybe make a little mistake journal to copy it all down. 1, what's the question I missed? 2, why did I get it wrong? 3, what can I do to get it right the next time? And 4, if it's a math question, you can even run the question again. And I write all that down. And then I try to find patterns between the different mistakes that I made and try to come up with, oh, here's a tip that I need to remember really well. This is the technique or this is the tip that applies to this. Okay, so that's my number one technique. And the theory behind this is the night before the test, you could do another practice test and then go over that one practice test. But isn't it more powerful if you look at every mistake you've made over 4 practice tests or 2 practice tests or 3 practice tests and try to cram all of that learning knowledge from mistakes into your head at the same time as much as possible? It might be a little bit more effective the night before the test. So that's number 1. Number 2, study our math SAT cheat sheet. So when it comes to math, one of the things that can be a really good quick refresher is to study a math SAT cheat sheet. Guess what? I have one for free for you, and you can check it out at SupertutorTV.com/free. Give us your email, we'll email it to you. And what I love about this is it's a document that kind of goes over all of the little things that you need to know in math. How to find a vertex, what the discriminant means for 1, 0, or 2 solutions to a system of equations or for a quadratic equation, right? When do we have 2 zeros versus 1 0, all that kind of stuff. So I recommend that you check it out and go through all of the math and just go through and say, do I remember how to do this? Do I remember problems like this? And if you find anything that you're like, I haven't done that in a long time, I should probably practice that, you can go then and try to find some practice drills. I'm going to talk about in step number 4 where to find those practice drills. But practice and drill down anything that's in that cheat sheet that you're like, oh gosh, I haven't done that in a while. I probably should work on that. Cool. Number 3, the other thing you can cram the day before that's kind of quick and easy to get on is what I call speed tips, especially in the math section. I have lots of tips and tricks for math to get faster, shortcuts, so to speak, and we have tons of videos. We're going to put up some thumbnails right here. You can learn these speed tricks with just a few minutes of your time. So they're not the kind of things where you have to do 20 practice items in order to really lock it in. So that's also another great thing to try to study the night before. One of the things that my students mess up most often, even those that are extremely prepared, is pacing and timing. So just be sure you don't screw up that pacing and timing. And the more shortcuts you have in your head, the faster you're going to be able to go on a lot of questions, even if they're easy questions, so that you have that extra time to really tackle those super hard questions that might take you a little longer. Number 4, my final thing to do the night before the SAT is to review your weakest links with practice drills. So where do I find practice drills, or what kind of questions do I want to drill down? I'm going to give you 2 resources. Number 1 is the SupertutorTV course. So our course actually allows you to cut and paste your complete results from a Blue Book test and paste them into our course. And then we will tell you exactly what subject areas all of those questions are. And you can click a button and create a custom study list and drill down the exact things that you have missed on previous Blue Book tests. We also have the same feature for our internal practice tests, which, by the way, we have a free practice test on our course with our limited free trial. So if you want to try that out, you can do it totally for free if you've exhausted all the Blue Book tests and need one more test. SupertutorTV.com, check it out. sign up for the free trial, and you can also get a free practice test. So that's one resource that you can use. And again, you can target your skills, figure out exactly what you need to work on, and then click a button and boom, it will just give it to you based on your test results. The second resource that I want to give you where you can sort of drill down what you've missed is the College Board's question bank. So you can find that at the link in the blog that goes with this video. The link for that blog is in the description. And that will allow you to sort questions by category. It's not necessarily as specific as the categories on our online course. So it's not like command of evidence quantitative. It's not that specific, but you can still sort of narrow down what kind of question types that you've missed in the past. Maybe you hate those inferences questions and you miss those all the time and you really want to work on those. Or maybe it's words and context because your vocabulary is like, not the best. But whatever question type it is that you need to drill down, you can drill down those specific question types that you've missed in the past. And there's 2 resources to do it. I hope you guys like this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. And go watch more videos, because if you're cramming for the SAT, what is a better channel to watch? Go crush the SAT. Thanks for watching.